this sheet, and I'm going to be showing you how to put the stuff into your calculator. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is go into our calculator and go to Mode and scroll down and make sure that where it says Full here, that you have Graph Table. And then down here where it says Stat Diagnostics, I want you to make sure that that's off, so you can just hit the Enter key. And so that's what I want to make sure that you start off with. So the first thing we're going to do is obviously put the data into the calculator. So we do Stat Edit, and remember the keystrokes are down here. And here's the data from your sheet. We don't put in 5 because we don't know the y value, the distance traveled for that. So we're just going to put that in. And then the first statement says to go to Statlet, but we're going to do this on the calculator. So to create a linear regression, we're going to learn in a couple days how that is actually created, but it's basically the line of best fit. And so the calculator will do that for you. So what you want to do is you want to go to Stat and then go over to Calc. And notice here that you have linreg ax plus b, and then you have linreg a plus bx. So we're going to go to number 8. Either one is fine, but in statistics, we usually start with the y-intercept, and then we do the bx at the end. And I can explain that another time, but usually we're just going to go with 8. So it tells you, you have to tell it where your data is, and in this case, it automatically populates with L1 and L2. And then it will store the regression equation for you. You don't have to do this. You could just write it down yourself. But there's a long way to get to putting it in. You want to put it into your y equals. So the quick, easy way to do it is to take this alpha key and do alpha F4, and that gives you your y variable. So I'm going to put it into y1, and then I'm going to hit calculate. Okay? And there's my regression equation. So your A value is 25 1/3, your B value is about 7.5. So when we write this down, we're going to go 3 decimal places. And what I want to show you here is that if you go to your y equals, it automatically populates. And it automatically populates without doing any truncating or rounding. So you get all those wonderful values, so you can get very precise data points. Okay? So if I wanted to look at a graph of this, I can go to my window and I set my window. So I've already set my window. My rubber bands start at 0 and go up to 7. So I have, a lot of times I'm going to go a little bit before, so I'm going to go to -1 and then up to 10. And my X scale is 1, so that means each little tick mark is going to be 1. My Y values start at 25 and go up to 78, but I want to start it at 0, so I'm going to go a little bit below, which is -10, and go up to 100. And since that's a bigger jump, my Y scale and my tick marks are each going to be 10. Don't worry about the stuff underneath. So then when I go and I graph this, I hit graph, there's your line of best fit. And because of how I set up the screen, I have my table over here on the other side. Okay? Now, I'm not sure what values you have over here, but if I want to look at some other values, I can just go to Second Table, and I can scroll back, and it'll show me where on the line those values are. Now you'll see that those values are different from the values you put into the calculator, because the values you put into the calculator are the actual values, and the values that this is from putting it into the linear regression equation. Okay, so in this case, for number 2, it says so you would write down the equation that the calculator calculated. Then it said use it to predict 5 rubber bands. Well, here's 5, and that's what the linear regression equation calculates for 62.652. The other thing you can do is do second calculate, and then you can say calculate the value when x equals 5, and then hit enter, and there you go, there's the value there. Okay, now that changed things up over here. My table is a little bit more messed up, but that's okay too. All right, so there's the value here at 62.65. So I think that gives all the calculator stuff that I want you to do. Oh, later it says in number 4 what's for 20. And if you go to second calc and try to calculate that on your calculator, value x equals 20, I think you might get an error. Yes. Now, if you read the instructions, it says attempted to use a variable or a function where it is not valid. So what you need, the reason is if you go back to your graph, hit go to, okay, your graph only goes out to 10 or 11, okay? So I can't do this out to 20. So you need to change your window, and you need to make your x value go out to, let's say, 25 or so, okay? And then when I go to look at my graph, now if I go to, I think I also have to change my y value. So hold on one second. Let's change my y value from 100 up to 250 and hit graph. So again, I can do the second calculate, or I can go to my table of values and I can scroll down until I get to 25. Keep scrolling. Or actually 20, I think it wanted. So if you scroll down, there's your x value, 20, and your associated y value, which is 174.61. Similarly, if you go into second calc, your value at x equals 20, it would give you the exact same value of 174. Okay, so there's all your calculator stuff, my friends. Good luck on the rest of the sheet.